Hey, Pastor Mike here on location from McPherson's Ridge at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. This is where the Battle of Gettysburg started, right here. The Union cavalry was about where I'm standing. In that direction, behind the camera, is where the Confederate forces were coming. The Union forces eventually retreated up to Seminary Ridge. You can see that behind me. Why am I talking about this? Why am I doing this here? Well, the battle for freedom, the ultimate battle for freedom for the slaves was Gettysburg. Now, there were a lot of battles. The Confederates were winning all over the place up until this battle, but this was the turning point of the Civil War. Up until now, a lot of even the Union forces were fighting for Union versus Confederate, states' rights and all that kind of stuff. Well, as the war went on, it became clear that this was really about freedom for slaves. And I've been reading this book by Frederick Douglass. You can see that right there. He was an American slave who got free. Listen to what he said about learning how to read. The slave masters didn't want him to learn how to read because they thought it might make him want to be free. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened. But listen to this. He said, my learning to read had already come to torment and sting my soul to utterable anguish. As I writhed under it, I would at times feel that learning to read had been a curse rather than a blessing. It had given me a view of my wretched condition without the remedy. You get that? He read about his status. He read about where he was. He let that truck go by. He learned how to read. He saw freedom, but he didn't have the remedy. What a horrible condition to be in. Well, the Bible kind of talks about that too, about the law shows us sin. It shows us our condition. But guess what? Jesus has the answer to that. He is the remedy. He is freedom. You know, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He who has the Son is free and free indeed. So I'm standing here where the Battle of Gettysburg started, and I want to read this from Mark chapter 14. And immediately, while Jesus was still speaking, Judas came, one of the 12, and with him a crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I will kiss is the man. Seize him and lead him away under guard." And when he came, he went up to him at once and said, "Rabbi," and he kissed him. And they laid hands on Jesus and seized him. But one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. And Jesus said to them, Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day I was with you in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me. But let the scriptures be fulfilled. And they all left him and fled. In some ways, that might be the battle for your soul started right there. Obviously, it started in the beginning with God, Jesus coming to earth. But the final days of Jesus started with this horrible story of betrayal by his friend Judas. He was betrayed, but he said, let the scriptures be fulfilled. That's where it started. So this is a good spot for that. Take a look again at this canon. Think about this. This is the first in a few series of Gettysburg devotions. God bless you.